description. Oh, I did. Hey,
Oh, it's
what's up,
ArmTalk?
everybody? Welcome to another episode of, and I know the description says Arm Talk, but this is the Can-Am Connection, you know, with Nathan Williamson and your boy, Jody Williams. And tonight's topic will be the Mac 3 event. We know who
The,
you're representing.
there we go. I brought the candidate out for you.
Oh, well, hold on. Since we're doing that and the show is about Mac, hold on for a second. If we're doing all that,
I guess we got to have some Canadian love in the house. Otherwise, it's not like the Can-Am connection, right?
hey, what's today's topic, y'all?
Well, we got to go over the Arnolds a little bit too.
What's that?
We got to review the Arnolds a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that, but this will be today's main event topic. All right. So I should probably be wearing it, huh? Matter of fact, let me go do that now. Sit there, and they're not paying me to do this, y'all, but hey, you never know. All right. I got my Mac jersey on. I don't have a Mac hat, but we're going to roll with it. But before we get into that, let's talk about last weekend's Arnold qualifier. Now, I understand we got a bunch of the other stuff circling around. We all know it's the elephant in the room. We're not here to talk about that because guess what? There'll be a show later on tonight that will discuss that.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say
won't be us.
yeah, we're not elephant hunting. So,
No.
but I mean, like, big shout out to like Leanne Wilson. Like, girl goes there and wins three first place and a second. Like, wins her class left-handed, has a great match with Nadia on the right,
Yeah.
takes second to her, and then dominates everybody in the 54 plus class. Like, that girl showed out.
And so, again, this goes back to what I was always saying. What's this year's motto? Show up and show out. And that's exactly what she did. It's like going, man, you can't ask for any better performance than that, right?
Yeah, and
So,
we got Paul Cruz in the chat. Paul had a nice war with Tucker there on the stage for the final day on the right hand.
oh, by the way, Arnold champion, there you go. You know, the Drew's in the house. My man Scott Evans also in the house. So everybody, welcome to the show. So aside from all the hoopla, what were your lasting impressions or thoughts of the Arnold now that it came back?
Uh TBD, if I'm being honest, right? Like, it's cool having the left hand and stuff now, but with it being the first year of it, it's kind of like, okay, it doesn't really matter what we think. Let's be honest. I mean, we can have the opinion. Well, here's what I'm saying. Listen,
Yes or no? Go ahead.
we can have the opinion we want, but what matters is the Arnold Classic happy with it, because they're the ones that
Right.
ultimately decide if they continue to bring arm wrestling back.
Right.
Right.
And,
Like,
and,
I
and
didn't let. I wasn't a big fan of not having streams, obviously, where we could watch it instead of going through the hoops of downloading or filling out the thing to get the Arnold thing.
right.
So I caught Paul Cruz's stream. Thank you, Paul, for that. Today I watched Alex Toprol's thing from there. He put out a nice video of all the right-handed classes, so I watched all that. So yeah,
I'm about to check that out because during that event, you know, I was at work. So I was like, okay, because I work weekends and I'm kind of going, hey, some of the people I got a hold of, hey, keep me involved. Paul was one of them. Hey, let me know, keep me, you know, up to date on what's going on and stuff. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm in the finals. I'm like, oh shit, you know. See you, Tucker, and who was the third guy?
was it Jim Human?
Oh yeah, it was him. I'm thinking, man, you know, but Paul rose to the occasion. So my man, good stuff.
Yeah, and then the gentleman from Malaysia won the supers class,
Yeah.
which was cool to see. I can't remember his name, from Oklahoma, but he won the 76 class. He beat Vosgen.
Mm-hmm. So
Danny had death matches, of course, in the 98 in the 198 class, like he always does.
do you expect anything less from that guy? Like, it's like
Dude,
when you see your name pop up and then you got Danny Gillian, it's like going, all right, man, let me just go ahead and pack my lunch.
it's one of those, if your strength
Maybe I'll
level
be a
is
while.
not, if you're not exponentially stronger than him, you're in for a grinder. It's just the way it is. Like, if you can't beat him fast off the start and he's able to get a bite, let's not forget the match he had with Jamie Sheldon. Um, You know,
We saw it.
we saw it.
We saw it.
That was an incredible 3-round war. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest. But if he ever gets a bite, he's going to give somebody a bite. He can ruin your tournament for you really fast. He's very good at that.
Oh, can you imagine like being a favorite and you get him first round, and all
Well,
of a
that's what
sudden
I'm saying.
you're
That's what I'm saying.
drained.
If you're not this much stronger than him and that level is like this,
Mm-hmm.
have fun, enjoy it,
Yeah,
because he
but
he can pull all day.
yeah. So, where do you think we have to, where does this go next year, you think? And I know there's a lot more because, the reason why I said, it doesn't matter what we say, but it kind of does. I mean,
It
yeah,
does and
granted,
it doesn't, right? Yeah.
Arnold, yes. They're the ones that say yay or nay. But if it's on again, I would look at it like going, okay, what are your thoughts on the round robin and the super matches?
I'm
I
not a
don't there
fan.
weren't too many that were promoted,
No, I'm not a fan of that. Like the Arnold Classic has always been, you show up, you pull your tournament, get on the stage, pull the semifinals, and the finals. That's what it's always been. But to go away from like tradition, I'm not a big fan of that, right? Because you do have limited time there, so you want to make an impact where you can make an impact.
Right. Lucky's to the podcast. My man Woody from the UK is in here. Welcome everybody. Um, going forward, I'm glad it came back. Weight
I
class is
mean,
a
this
little
is a
different, than
well, they added a weight class.
yeah. Well, they cut one up in half.
Yeah,
They actually it was two because the last one they had before they took it off the map again was the two
was it
was it
275?
220?
There
Yeah,
used
they
to be a
never had that
220. Yeah.
before. Hell, the last time I went, 2019, it was 199 and over. That was it. And I remember I had 27 dudes in my class, Nathan, which is funny because you remember your losses. Thank you, Derek Smith. Thank you, Robbie Burnett. So,
Oh,
so there
was
you
that the
go.
year? Was that the year Robbie took second to Barbosa? Right, that was that year.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Corey
exactly what
West
that
was
year.
there. Corey West was there. Derek Smith was in that class. Yeah,
That was the year um, Daniel Mosher was the defending champ,
yep.
defending his title. Then Paul Lynn came on the scene and put into that. So I mean that was a fun year, but that was the last year where it had the 199 and over. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was not an
27
easy.
dudes.
Yeah, that was not an easy class to get first or second, and for Marcio and Robbie to take 1 and 2. I mean, because the only person that beat Robbie that day was Marcio, and he beat him 3 times. So
Yeah, Corey was in that class. Donovan was in that class. I mean, you got some names up in there. So to
who
come
else
out of
was there?
that,
Corey West was in that.
um,
Corey West was in that class too.
Myrtala, he was in that class.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
talk about some studs, and I was like, fucking
You had
what,
Myrtle. So, like,
2019?
let's think about it. You had Myrtala, Corey West, Derek Smith,
Mhm.
Don Underwood, Robbie, Marcio Barbosa. Like, and
There's six of them right there. I noticed the Nick Stone pulling in?
I don't remember. I don't think so,
Okay.
if I'm being honest. I'm saying it was a stat class that day.
James Beach, welcome to the
So
show, my friend. I will see
I
you in a
thought
couple weeks.
I thought that was Jim Beam for a second. I was like, oh, how did we get that? My
So
bad.
no, it's all right, it's all right. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad they offered the left hand, which is good because I'm thinking, okay. Now in years past, before we put a bow tie on this, in years past, it was like if you won, right,
You had to buy into the next year's
you can come
typically.
back whenever you want to. You don't have to qualify anymore. That was one of the cool things about the Arnold. Aside from everybody wanted that Letterman jacket, right? When you won, you got
Yeah.
the Letterman jacket.
I mean,
Because
the
that,
thing that's the mega moments I can remember from the Arnolds is Lupkeys and Saplinkov, Michael Todd and Saplinkov, Dmitry Trubin
oh,
and Michael Todd.
yep.
Like, there's some iconic matches that took place at that
Well, I
place.
mean, hell, what year did Don win? Where he the top three was Don Underwood, Ryan Espy, and Devin Larrett. Was that 20?
Oh, I don't even remember. If I'm being honest, it's been a while ago.
Yeah, Don, because Don's won it twice. Tim won it. Michaels won it. Trubin's won it. So Plinko had to go through hell and back to win his because, like I said, you
Well,
had
that that match with Lupke's was just, whew,
Yeah.
that was iconic. That match was incredible. And then
And the
Michael
fact that he
comes
had
back.
any kind of energy to go, okay, if I'm pulling Lupkes like that, I got Michael Todd breathing down my neck, man. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's the beauty. Those were
Yeah.
tournaments where it's like going, man. And think about it. Think about this for a second. Now, what we just said, right? Okay. Oh, Lupkes, the plank off. Michael Todd did another year was Trubin, Michael Todd. Heck, the year I went, it was, Myrtala and Barbosa, Underwood, Corey West, Burnett. Think about this for a second. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but what was first place? 500
500
bucks.
bucks. Yeah. But it was
Okay.
it was the prestige of winning the Arnolds.
Yes. And
It was all about that.
hopefully, I hope we can get it back again. You know what I mean? Because seriously, it's like that was more like, okay, hey man, if you won the Arnold, you did something. Like if you're like Cobra, who has like I think 5 Arnold titles, I think the only person that has more than him is like Crazy George. And
the problem with Crazy George, and we all know that, is like you were allotted a certain time on the stage, but if you knew George was in the finals, it was like, oh God, George is going to eat up 90% of the time.
right, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like but again, it was prestigious, and so I
Very
think
much so, yeah.
what Knuckles I was trying to do is make it prestigious again. So I think those guys are like, hey, let's try this out. We'll see. We'll get the feedback and go from there. Again, this is strictly Arnold. We're not talking about anything else beyond
No, I
that.
mean
But
there's some things that could change, obviously, but it's the first year, right? Being back.
right,
It's a learning curve, and then you go from there and move forward, make the necessary changes, and then hopefully make it better. That's all you can
yeah.
do.
So, but tonight is the night we talk about Mac 3 because we're on the eve of that. And I'm telling you,
There's some matches, man.
man, I saw the
There's some
card and I got the one card, and then there were some more additions to it. So I had to go back and try to read those out. So I got my list here. It's kind of everywhere. And then, of course, I got my other screen over here. I got to go over and so I can kind of write everything down because there's some on that screen that didn't make this because I got this from the original one. So a lot of stuff to add. But before we go any further and get into these matches, will Jody Larrett, Jody, awesome name, by the way, will Jody Larrett have a voice when it's all said and done? What I mean by that is that it's one thing to cheer your hubby on. I get that. However, on the flip side, when it becomes your kid and you got both your kids on the card, you ain't gonna have no voice when it's all said and done. So somebody get Jody Larrett a big old cup of tea with some honey and lemon and preserve her voice because she gonna be screaming. Yeah,
some throat lozenges, something.
because she's gonna be man. She's gonna be. You're gonna hear her, and she's gonna be. Hey, don't mess with the Larrett family. I'm telling you, it's almost like a Larrett invitation because think about it. We know Milo's on there, and we'll get into his match later. Aden's the main event. We'll get into that too. So
and then
it's
3
gonna be
weeks.
awesome.
Then 3 weeks later, they'll be in Arlington. So will her voice recover in time to cheer on Devin out in Arlington?
She probably won't talk. She'll be like, I'm taking a couple of days off. Don't talk to me. Sign language. She might just be like, to kind of make her point. But no, she's cool people. You ready to jump into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Now, these matches are not in order, by the way, so I'm just bringing them up. So what we got Brad Grundy out of Florida taking on the man from British Columbia.
Remember, he's not pulling. No, remember, Brad's not pulling it now. It's BLM.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And remember, BLM's coming off an injury.
Okay, so is this left or right hand? Do we know?
Left. Okay,
so last time we seen BLM pull left hand, his opponent is in the chat right now, Mr. James Beach. And BLM went down 4-0.
I think Ole personally is just going to be too much. I truly do.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole, I think, didn't Ole win 2 classes at Canadian Nationals? Didn't he win
I
the
believe so.
supers, beating Pork Chop, and then won his class as well?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think there's gonna be too much coming out of Ole. I think Ole's gonna take it. I mean, I'm not BLM will get in some really nasty spots. I mean, if you've seen him pull, he's all in. He doesn't care.
It's
He's
ride or die, and he can be like this. I don't care. It's ride or
Mhm.
die.
It's a
You know.
test your frame. He is the epitome of test your frame when it comes to spots. So I I don't know. I think Ole is going to be super explosive and be able to take him outside his shoulder pretty quick.
Yeah.
Then I think Ole is going to take it.
Well, and the thing is, though, I kind of see that too. But if there's
If
one
it
match
stops though,
he get a bite, it's all okay. Like
if it
Danny, right?
stops,
If you can get that bite, it's almost like you said, Danny
mhm.
Gillian. If he can get that bite, oh, whoa, back up.
Yeah,
If BLM
exactly.
can get that bite, if he can get the bite, he can do some stuff. But I don't want him, like you said, test your frame. I don't want to see a frame test where it results into an injury and you're still not
Yeah,
100% yet. But
yeah,
he knows
exactly.
his body better than anybody else. So who are we to say? We just don't want to see any injuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with that being said, like if that match does stop, BLM could win it, but I think Ole is going to be too explosive for him.
We'll know after match one
Oh yeah,
how
100%.
he plans this the rest of the series out. Because I think all matches on this card are best of 5, right? So we'll know after the first
Uh,
one.
I believe so. But I do think that the pad size is going to benefit.
Yes,
Yeah, but
James
remember,
Beach.
but remember, it is close your thumbs, close your hands. So it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
BLM
is
is a
that
really
wall.
good to get in the set. So yeah, like you said, if it's thumbs, hand, go, that kind of takes all that out. But we'll
Well,
see. We'll see how it goes.
well, I think, but like I said, the pad size being so big, I think it actually probably favors Ole a little bit because he can kind of set up towards the back of the pad and has a lot more room to play with than having to be up front and tight with BLM, where BLM is going to be able to get a bite.
But don't they have added to the some of the front too, though?
Um, I don't know. I think there's a little bit, but remember the back of the pad goes all the way to the back side of the table, like the wall pads did.
Right, right.
So
So I'm with you on that. I'm just hoping that there's no injury. But like I said, if BLM catches him, look out.
it
Right.
could be, yeah, it could be a war.
All right. How about this one? Legendary Rick Heidelberg versus Philip. Is it Philip or Philippe?
Philip Larson. I just think
Larson.
Philip's going to be too big, man.
You think so? At
I
6'6",
tr-
375?
I just think Philip's going to be too big and too strong. I know Rick is strong, but the trajectory Philip is on right now. I mean, look what he did to Brad.
Right.
I mean, and I believe Brad beats Rick Heidelbrecht. So, with that being said, I think Philip Larson is the clear favorite in this match.
Hello, Carolyn. Welcome to the show. Miss Loom's in the house. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm saying, and I'm going to go on a limb. Some way, somehow, I'm thinking Rick's going to try something sneaky. He's going to use, and okay, we know Larson is the bigger guy at 375, Rick at 310, both are 6'6", long lever. There's something that says about some way, somehow, Rick's going to pull something out of his hat, and I think this might be the match he does it. So I'm going with that. I'm going with Rick
I'm,
Heidelberg.
I mean, I would look if I was Rick, I'd be studying that match that Philip had at Arm Wars
Mm-hmm.
and going with that to that path because I think that's the best path to victory to Philip Larson.
And I'm sure he's probably have. I mean, and that's the thing. We don't know these guys. We don't know what they've been studying. We don't know. You know what I mean? So we'll have to find out, So
Mm-hmm.
you took
I'm
Philip,
taking
I
Philip.
took Rick. So the next match I'm interested. I got a lot to say about this one. Man, oh man. Jerome Loud and Pork Chop. Anytime you have a name like Pork Chop, you ain't gotta say his first and last name because you know who he is. But for the sake of this show, Curtis Cameron. Now, go ahead. I'll let you run with this one first. Left hand, by the way.
Jerome's going to be too much. Jerome's hand is just going to engulf Porkchop's hand and just be too much for him. It's going to be if Porkchop can't get to the strap, this is a total hand dominant. I mean, even in the strap, it's going to be hand dominance. I just think Jerome's going to be way too much for Porkchop. I know it is left hand, and that's Porky's better arm, but I still think Jerome's too
Right.
much.
Now, before I give my prediction, and I've said this on the show too, it would have been nice to see Jerome at the Challenger Series because he was slated to pull, RVJ, right? And then
Who I think he
RVJ pulled
beats.
out for whatever reason, and then we saw him. What's that?
I think he beats RVJ personally, but
We saw him. But we saw RVJ like take a sabbatical for a minute, then he resurfaces on the Magnus event, Global Elite. I'm like, okay. But I think what really bothered me, I don't know why it bothered me, but it's like going, okay, at the time, the East vs. West Challenger Series, one would think, okay, if my opponent backed out as a promoter, wouldn't you want to get a replacement? You know what I mean? There's nothing that Jerome did. He just never got that. It's like going, man, that's kind of messed up. It's just like it was just forgotten.
well, I mean, I think Jerome is one of the most overlooked guys, especially in North America.
Right.
Because I mean, you and I have seen Jerome pull for a long time. There's days where Jerome looks like nobody in the world at that weight's gonna touch him, and there's days where Jerome looks off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
There's times where it's like going, my God, I mean, he just walked through everybody, and then there's times where it's like, oh, he got smacked by Brad Grundy and Sharkovich and same event or whatever.
He beat Chance.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was a hand thing, Jerome's hand is just so big and so strong. So
with that being said, it's almost like, what version of Jerome do we get? And I'm glad.
I think this is a good thing for Jerome. And I mean, like he's going to be in the public eye in a match against, Porky's no joke. He's been on the EBW stage. He unfortunately suffered a bicep injury, but Porkchop's no joke. So it's I expect a very prepared Jerome to show up for this match.
Yeah.
To make a statement.
Did we talk about that on the previous show? Porkchop and against a certain somebody coming up this summer. Did we talk about that? Am I allowed to talk about that?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to say we ain't talked about it, but I could swear it was been talked already. Here, I'll say this to be safe. I would love to see a match between Porkchop and Mega Mike. There, I said it.
Well, yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, that's what I thought. I want to make sure. I was like, I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure Tim said they're pulling both right and left at Arizona State. So.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, well, I wasn't sure.
He did. He did.
I thought I was losing my mind. So, all right. This one, what do you think? Josh Rodriguez? Is it Rodriguez?
Yeah.
And Coach Ray.
So Danny pulled Josh at Colorado State.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Danny came out on top. And I don't know how much better Josh has gotten since then. I can't.
Right.
But based upon that, I don't think Danny beats Coach Ray. Love Danny to death, but I don't think he does. So
is it more a technique thing or what?
I think it was a lot of Danny's hand giving Josh issues, and the fact that Danny can hang out there in that ugly position.
I've been there a few times.
Danny can hang out in that ugly hook position where he's, really hard on that elbow. And I don't know, man. I think if Ray gets a bite, I mean, we've seen Ray. Look what he did to Tom Holland. Ray beat Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray's beat some guys that are top level guys. So, I mean, let's not forget. Tom Holland just pulled Craig Tullier not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach Ray's no joke.
Yeah, I mean, with it, and that's the thing. I mean, we can also sit there and go, what Coach Ray are we going to see? Because I thought do you remember the King of Table where he pulled Egan and Egan kind of walked through him? It was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Egan. I mean, Egan is.
I understand that, but it's like going,
even
because
John
at that
wasn't able to hook Egan.
Yeah.
Even let's not forget John pulled Ingen, and John was significantly bigger than Ingen and still couldn't turn him inside. He had to beat him, that flat kickback pronated top roll.
Right.
So
Which I get, But I think I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I'm going to have to give Mr. Coach Ray also.
I mean, it's a classic top roll hook, right? Coach Ray can do anything. He can hook, he can top roll, but he does love to hook. So I see the match being in the strap, 100%. And if Ray gets that bite, I'm not saying Josh doesn't have a gas tank because him and Danny had an absolute death match, but based upon Josh losing to Danny and the people that Coach Ray has beat, it tells me to bet on Coach Ray.
Right. I'll roll with you. Next one, Hitman. Not the Hitman, but Hitman. So we got Hitman and the Hitman on this card. This one I'm talking about Mike Hitt, right against Matt Smith. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
What do you think? Hold on, I got to think on this one. I also got to turn the air on. It's hot in Texas right now.
No, stop it with all that. I mean, it was warm here too. I mean, we're at 52. That's kind of warm for us at this time of year. So
it was like 80.
All right, you're killing me with this.
Well, you asked.
Meteorologist over here, weatherman over here. You know what? I don't know much about these guys. I apologize, but I just know that Matt the Scorpion Smith and Mike Hitman. I mean, I don't know a lot outside of that. So if I don't, I apologize. I was hoping to get one of our Canadian colleagues. Oh, I guess I'm Canadian now, according to Knuckles Up. But I want to kind of get somebody else on here, and so we can kind of help out with these. But I don't know a whole lot about
I don't either, so I don't want to make an accurate opinion when I'm not super familiar with both athletes.
Well, do you go for the hometown boy, Matt Smith?
No, I'm going with Hitt.
I'm going with the hometown boy.
All right, well.
Now, here's the match I'm interested in, right? Mm-hmm. It goes like this. It's a left-handed match because we know this competitor has a right-hand match coming up with Mr. Craig Toulier. It's John Terry, and he's going left hand versus Daniel Price. What are your thoughts on that one?
I know this is John's not good arm. Mm-hmm. I know didn't John beat Daniel Price in Florida last time they pulled, but that was on the right, I believe.
Yeah, so they're gonna try to run it back on the opposite arm.
Right now, John's on such a tear. It's pretty much hard to bet against John. So
what I'm wondering, and I know this is the other hand, but I'm wondering if does he rest because it's like he's on a mission, and rightfully so, he's earned every bit of that, And I'm wondering, my dude, does he need to take some time and go, okay, because it's like next thing you look, bam, we'll see you in Arlington after this.
And his opponent, Arlington, is a scary opponent for anybody in any weight class.
And granted, it's not the same arm, but still, it's like, okay.
Like I said, I know John's right arm is way better than his left. I know Matt Smith's going to, sorry, I didn't mean to say Matt Smith. I know that his opponent's going to be way bigger than him. I know John's cutting down, I think 85 or 87 kilos for this match in Arlington. So, but I still going to bet, I'd still go with John.
Because when this flyer actually came out, it was, at the time, Terrian's at 198, Daniel Price at 225, Daniel's sitting at 6'3", John Terrian at 5'10". That may or may not make a difference because, John doesn't really care. He's just coming to like, hey, I'm coming to get you. But, at some point.
Dude, if you watch the way he beat El Cesar, a big El Cesar, it's hard to beat. Yeah. It's hard to bet against him.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. But this is where Daniel Price, hey, this is your time to shine, buddy. Look who's here. What up, buddy? What's going on with you, man?
Work.
I see that.
Well, don't shock yourself because we will giggle.
We were just talking about the match between Daniel Price out of Florida and John Terry out of Canada. John's been on a tear these days. It seems like he has a super match every 2 to 3 months. So you care to
Like
chime in
every
on that,
month.
Lewis?
So I don't know much about the boy from Florida, but I definitely John Therian he's been putting in the work, right? He's what he had his last one was not Artem, was it? No.
No, it was Brandon Alcessor. He beat
It was El
3-0.
Cesar. He smoked El Cesar, in my opinion. I mean, he just went straight sideways, took everything. Well, not straight sideways. He played the great back pressure game and kept Brandon outside of his shoulder and really was just able to hold the side pressure that was needed to keep Brandon from transitioning to that crazy outside, flop press.
Right.
So, if I knew much more about the kid from Florida, I'd have to watch some videos on that. But, my money would be on Therian just for the sheer fact of what he's been doing and the work he's been putting in.
And you got to think his prep right now is so focused on Tullier, and he's putting in so much time. Like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going to be prepared.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. If this is his match before Tullier and this is just to test the waters to see where he's at. Yeah. I mean, I think
it's a different arm, but I mean, at the same time, like he's training both. So
yeah, no, I agree. No, I think he'll be laser focused. And I don't know. The Therian is just, he's on another plane right now. In my opinion, he's just on another plane.
I'm hoping this is not one of those throwaway matches. And I'm not saying, I don't want to speak for John on this, and I don't want to, put words in his mouth because we know the match that he really wants to win is the one coming up at Arlington, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I can't overlook this one, even though it's on the opposite hand, and you hope that, it's like, hey, I'm taking everything seriously, I just hope that, there's no remnants of like, okay, I got to make sure I stay healthy because I don't want any inkling of injury to even leak out. Because you could pull a pec on the left and be like, okay, if I pull on the right, I still got to have this hand to stabilize myself. Not saying it's gonna happen. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But you see what I'm saying, all right?
Well, don't forget Todd Hutchings tore a bicep holding onto the peg.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen, whether it's in your training or if it's during a competition.
Yeah.
100%.
But I'm taking John Terry on this one. So did Nathan. What do you think, Mr. Lewis? What do you think?
I'm gonna say John Therian.
Okay. So we got them going on. So now the next match, Dan Swartz out of the northeastern area, and Daniel is it Labrie?
I'd take Daniel.
Daniel? Okay.
Yeah.
You think he'll win?
Yeah.
And just the tail of the tape right quick, we are looking at two gentlemen where Daniel, so Daniel and Daniel. Swartz is 5'9", 170. Labrie, they call him Danimal, 5'7", 170. So
I'd pick Labrie.
Yeah. I mean,
I have no opinion. I don't know anything about either one of them. I have no opinion.
Daniel Swartz, you know what? He's that guy because I saw him pull at the City Slickers versus Country Folk event that took place last year. He doesn't look like much eye test, but this is where you don't go off the eye test because he can come out eke some wins, And I'm sorry, but Labrie, I ain't never seen somebody who's 5'7", 170 look as thick as that dude. I'm like, man.
You could say the same. Look at Tucker Keating. Tucker doesn't look like much, but when you get on the table, you're in for. You better hang on because you're probably going for a ride.
Right.
True. That's true. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, hard to pick. I'm going to go with Swartz because I know he's put in the work, and I know Nathan, you said Labrie, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ooh, Lewis, tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
Just say Daniel, then you're guaranteed to win.
So we got Daniel Labrie and who else again? What was his name?
Daniel Swartz.
Swartz.
The Canadian versus, I think he's from New York or New Jersey. I don't know which
Well,
one.
I got to go
Yeah.
USA, so we're gonna go USA.
All right, Swartz it is. Now, and like I said, everybody, thanks for joining us for this Mac 3 prediction show that'll take place tomorrow. Alaric will be gracing our presence. Not Auden, but Milo, right? You know what? This guy's been in the
Milo,
raps because I don't
they've
know.
pulled each other before.
I've never seen Milo pull at all. I'm kind of curious to see how this
I've
guy.
been watching his practice super matches and stuff. He looks sharp. You know, he's not. He pulls not completely different from his brother, but he's definitely more of a high posting top roll than a high hooker like Auden and Devin are.
Yeah,
right.
And the gentleman he's pulling, they have history. They pulled before, and if Milo can't stop that hit, it's going to be a bad day for Milo.
Yeah, Milo's got to set up with side pressure, shoulder protected,
Everything, not lose his hand because that
Yeah.
guy's fast and explosive. He's pulling. I have a hard time betting on Milo for this one.
Well, the guy he's pulling is his last name is Verma.
Yeah,
but is Shakar? Is it Shakar? Is that how you pronounce his name?
yeah.
So,
And like I said, they have history. I think they both beat each other once, but like Burma beat him very decisively when he beat him.
Okay, so this is like the rematch, you could say.
Yeah, the rubber match.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to Milo because I've never seen him in actual match. I mean, practice is one thing, but I'm kind of curious to see how he pulls. I love the nickname. If that is No Limits, Milo his nickname is Limitless. So, my word, I mean, home field advantage, yes. So, I'm gonna go if Milo can get that big frame, because think about it, there's a difference when someone has a 6'1", height against someone who's 6'5", and so, at some point, if he's already a high posting top roll, that's going to create a lot of issues, which means Verma's going to have to, if he won before, I guess he knows the formula. But one would have to think, okay, I'm going to have to chop down on this guy, because if I don't, I'm going to get taken like that. It's going to make it easy.
I know Milo's cutting weight for this too. So
is Milo cutting weight?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Milo's cutting weight for this match too.
Oh, okay. I mean, because from the flyer, it's hey, I'm 230 and Verma's 210. So we'll call it a catch weight, yes.
Yeah, but I still think Verma wins it.
All right, I'm going with Milo because I'm just curious. I want to see what he can get, because anytime you say Larrett, it's Devin, Auden, Jody, but Milo's kind of like I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see it. I want to see what he can do. I am excited. So. All right, well, let me see what you got.
To be honest with you, I'd like to see Milo do well, but with what Nathan is saying, I'm going to have to say, the American on this one.
I think they're both Canadian.
Well, then the other guy, not Milo.
Oh, Burma? Okay.
Burma, yeah.
So there you go. Next match. Like I said, once again, everybody, thanks for joining us. These matches are not in order. So we got Shea Dickey against Joseph. How do you pronounce it? Spoliar?
I have no clue on either one of them, if I'm being honest.
Spoliar. I've seen Shea Dickey's been around for a while, so I know of him. I don't know too much about him, but I know of him, though.
Yeah, it's hard for me to make an accurate prediction on this one.
Is that fair to sit there and go, hey, I know of this guy, but,
yeah.
I'm going only because I know of Shea Dickey. I'm going to roll with him,
Sure.
I wish I had more footage on him, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? What you got? Who y'all got?
I'll go with Shea.
I'm gonna be the outlier. I'm gonna go the other guy because I don't know anything about any of them, and I like to play dangerously.
This is true.
Remember that I passed out, right?
Yeah,
I pass out after my matches.
Now this next match,
I can validate it. Yeah, he does.
There you go. Now this next match. So we've seen Pork Chop already against Jerome Loud left hand. he's back on the scene with the right hand against Jason Constantini from what group is that?
Table
The Monkey Group?
Monkeys.
Table Monkeys, yes. So, hey, that's a thick ass dude. Jason's a big boy.
And King's moves.
Are they pulling on SB's tables, or are they pulling on a standard WAF table?
No, they're pulling
these are
on
Mac tables.
the Carnegie table. Yeah, the Mac table.
The Mac table. So the King's move don't mean shit. You pin yourself in a King's move on those tables.
I think Porky's gonna have too much side pressure for him.
I'm gonna go 3-2.
Constantini?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 3-2 Constantini.
I'm
going
torn.
3-2 Porky.
A lot depends on, and again, here's the thing, because when you have an individual on a card and they're pulling both hands, right? I understand it's kind of like, okay, but I'm pulling this hand here. At some point, your circulatory system, that's not even a word, is it?
Circulatory system? Yes, it is.
There it is. That is okay. That does take a hit. If you get into a grinder with Jerome Lau for, even though we think Jerome, I won't say walk through and will beat him, and then you got Jason Constantini fresh as a daisy, it's like going, okay, what happens now? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, because you want Porchop to go, hey, Cameron, bro, I want you in here to get one, if not two wins. But then again,
it doesn't depend on the match order. Got to depend on the match order. That's true. I could see them running the Constantini match before they run the Jerome Loud match.
Well, guess what? Mr. Calvin Jones, thanks for letting us know. The MAC press conference is live now, which is probably why we got a spike in all the people watching. Dude, we had like 15 people watching at one point. Now it's down to 8 because the press conference is on. It's on Coach Ray's channel. Hey, wow. So that's hard. I mean,
I think Pork Chop wins it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he loses left-handed Jerome. I still stand by that prediction.
I'm going to go Constantini just because I think, and like you said, a lot of it plays on the fact that which match comes first,
Exactly.
That's a hard one. So how about this one? You guys know about this one. Now we go from Hitman to the Hitman, Alan Ford against Doug Allen.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah, think about that one for a second. Alan Ford, Doug Allen.
It's going to be a setup nightmare.
I'm going to say Doug Allen.
Just close your thumbs, close your hands. It should be, right?
It doesn't matter. They're still both going to be trying to gain every advantage possible. I'll take this.
Right. I thought the whole purpose of that was to kind of eliminate that. You know what I mean?
Well, they do, but still, I mean, yeah, they just the Mac tables, like all that kind of stuff that's going on, I think is awesome. I think it's great. I love the size of the elbow pads. I love the setup. But I think we need to progress to the point of like everything goes to a ref script and then they slip to go to the strap. I think the sport's progressed to the point where we know most people are going to slip. We know most competitive athletes are going to jockey in the setup 15, 20, 45 seconds if they can get away with it. They'll go back and forth, step on and off the table, to make stuff happen. So I think that's the way that it needs to go,
Right. Our co-host, Mr. Ryan SB. Hey, thanks for chiming in, my man. He's down there having margaritas in Mexico on vacation. My friend, I hope you and the family are enjoying yourselves. Have the time of your life. Take some time off. We'll carry this whole thing for tonight as the MAC 3 predictions live on the show and currently on Coach Ray's channel, the press conference. So yes, Mr. SB, we will not let you down. Feel free to go back to the beginning of the show and check out the rest of the predictions. So who did we pick? Because I don't even know who I'm picking, because we talked about the jockey and the setup, who can get what. A lot of it depends on the referee. If they don't allow that nonsense to go, look, if it's a ref script, you move, you're getting fouled. But sometimes because of production, they don't really want to give that foul in the ref script. but you got to do it. If you start fouling people, I guarantee you they'll knock it off. But it's one of those, and you know about this, Lewis. It depends on the hitman. I guess it goes without saying, right? On the go, he's ready to hit. If by chance Doug can get a bite, can Alan Ford regroup? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm currently watching 2023 Andre Shark versus Doug Allen, and yeah, Doug he's just throwing all sorts of just BS going back and forth, and like Andre, we know how Andre pulls. Andre's methodical. He sits tight. He sets up. He doesn't really jockey. He does that, and then obviously you got Doug Allen, and he's doing the whole Devin Laird stuff. That's the whole Canadian lifestyle over there. They get crazy and think that, Canadian Miss is the greatest thing in the world. And then they, they're getting, gripping and ripping, So I think, Doug Allen's going to give a whole bunch of BS. And I think if they can keep him under control, it might go the other way, but I'm going to give it to Doug Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see that. And again, so I want to make this clear because I don't want people to sit there and just dump on us. If we don't pick a certain person, it's not that we're haters. It's nothing like that. It's more that we're going to tell you our reasons and why. So I'm going to go off and say this. If Doug can get a bite, does Allen have enough horsepower to regroup and get another hit? Does Doug stop it? Bring him this way on his side of the table because we're talking MAC tables. Doug stops him here and drags him back. Now all of a sudden, Allen's playing on his side of the table. That's probably one thing you don't want to do. You know what I mean? So Neil's index finger says he's always wanted to pull Lewis. Ha ha ha! You know who that is, right?
Me? Who wants to pull me?
Neil's index finger. You know who that is, right?
Who?
I gave that guy. I gave him a link to come on the show.
Who was it? I didn't hear it. I had a compressor in my ear. What was that?
Neil's index finger says, I want to pull Lewis. Ha, ha, ha.
Who's Neil's index finger?
I sent them a link, so hopefully he chimes in here. So I sent him a link. So
I don't know who Neil's index finger is, but Neil.
It's going to be if he checks his messages, Facebook Messenger, click in it and join in. You'll see who he is. So he says in 1 minute he'll be on. Nathan, what you got, man?
Boss called me. I apologize.
Oh, we get it. Business comes first. So we're talking about Alan Ford, Doug Allen. Lewis gave him his.
What did you say, Lewis?
I said Doug Allen.
I'm going Alan Ford.
You're going Alan Ford?
I think
if Doug Allen can maintain endurance with all of the BS that he's doing, yeah.
Well, I think it's going to come down to an outside move, and Alan Ford is a very good outside puller. And I think that's going to be what happens. It's going to go outside, and I think Doug's going to lose.
Gotcha.
Just like that. I mean, and like I said, it's. I always said if it all depends on can Doug get that bite. If he can get that bite, because again, a lot of times you can do things on a MAC table you probably couldn't do on another table, which is drag your opponent all the way back.
Well, you can come forward a lot more too than you can on a typical 6x6 pad too. So
yeah,
so you get that scoop and bring them back too if you need to.
But Alan Ford is so explosive.
Yeah,
like so explosive.
Yeah. I'm not saying Doug is the in the strength realm stratosphere like an RBJ, but if you go back to the RBJ versus Alan Ford match at the Global Elite with Magna, how right, he just got him. I don't know if Doug's hand is the size of RBJ, but when RBJ just kind of caught him here, I'm not saying he kind of just laughed at him. He kind of caught him and kind of manipulated.
Well, let's not forget Alan did flash pin him too, though.
True.
Let's see. Alan Ford versus Kasper Sinica. This was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is round 3. Oh, you know what? I think I might renege my statement there. I think I'm gonna pull that statement back.
Hey, Lewis, you want to know who Bill's index finger is?
Yeah.
Here he is. Bam. What's up, buddy?
No,
guys.
I've never met the man. I'm down to pull. Let's play ball.
Mr. Brian Parliament, what's up? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Is he smoking a
Hear me?
parliament too? Is that what he's doing?
Oh yeah, we can hear you, man. What's up?
Oh, not much. I didn't know. I just hopped on, and then you said you invited me, so I looked.
Is that a parliament you're smoking?
Yeah, when I beat Chuck, I wanted to pull Lewis.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down. Like, so it was so funny. So when I beat Chuck at the Montana Armbender, I had no idea who Chuck was. You know, it's like I'm 7 years in. I never really paid attention to who the athletes are, what's going on, what's this, what's that. And it's like Chuck Young did a little bit of research and was like, hey, I may have my work cut out for me. Totally surprised myself, right? I pulled Colorado State last year, and they ran the brackets and your classes by what your air score was, right? So I didn't have a high enough air score to pull the open. So I pulled both. I pulled the open and I pulled the amateurs. I pulled 9 guys in the AMs, and none of them were a slouch. Like, most of them gave me a little bit of guff. Pulled 9 times, and then I got 2 matches before I had Chuck, and Chuck just fucking smokes me. And I can't tell you how excited that man was.
Yeah, he gets excited.
He's a firecracker for sure.
Oh, it was so funny because he was watching me all day. His eyes like never left off me. As soon as I got on the table, he was watching me the whole time. He really wanted to get that back.
Well,
Nice.
He
Well,
pulled
we
me
got-
at Garage Wars, and I was watching, right? And then I was like, I was impressed by Lewis. I said, oh, I like his hand, his back pressure, and he pulls similar to me. So I was like, but then I seen Chuck flashed him in the one round. I'm like, well, he would never do that to me. So then when I went up against Chuck, I pretty much destroyed him. So I was like, well, then I got to go against Lewis. So then I told Dion and Gelder and them, I said, line me up with Lewis. And then they just said you weren't available or something. But I tried to pull you.
I there might have been something going on. I've been busy with work. I'm down. I'm so ready for it.
Well,
Check
Jody's
this out.
ready
So
first.
usually the Can-Am Connection has this after hours thing. We got 2 more matches to get through, and then we'll carry everybody so they can go finish watching the press conference of the Mac 3. I want you guys to stay on though, so that way we can talk turkey after dark. So we got 2 more matches. So we got Matt Oliver versus Blake. Is it Boylan?
Blake is Bouillon or something, isn't it?
It's bouillon or
Bouillon.
something like that.
Bouillon,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's French. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive.
You
Yeah,
know
I would
more
go-
about what. Talk
I
us
would
up,
go
Brian.
Blake.
What we got? I don't know.
Well,
too
he
much
pulled the
about either
round
of them.
robin. Yeah, he pulled the round robin the last Mac, right? I'm correct.
I think so. Yeah.
I believe he won, didn't he?
I think you had to win it in order to get another
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, and he was really impressive. Like, he blew through those other guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pick him. I'm picking him to win. He looked pretty impressive.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm sold on that.
Yeah, I would go with Blake as well.
How about you, Lewis?
Lewis is doing something with a air compressing tank.
Okay, we'll just go ahead. We'll just say he'll pick Matt Oliver. We'll just do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody's got to pick Matt. Come on.
So we got 1 match left. It is the main event of all main events on this card. And it's obviously, Auden Larrett, Artem Taranenko, and I'm excited because now this is a match where we get to see Auden very tested. This is, not against a YouTube sensation, nothing like that. No disrespect to all his opponents, but up until this point, he hasn't been really challenging. He kind of walked through everybody. So now this is his first challenge,
Well, don't forget in that one match he had against, what is it, James. James went, and that match he stopped Auden dead.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, Artem wouldn't feel James inside.
No, not inside. No.
And I don't see Auden. This is my personal opinion. Yeah, Auden may get hand control, but Artem will just blast and blast and blast and keep blasting until he pins. And that King's move ain't gonna work on a Mac table.
No. You have to think about the rule set and the setup.
Yeah.
See, on a normal WAF style, normal rules, I start favoring Auden because his back pressure is getting so strong. His hands looking dominant. He's learned a lot Artem's really good on the setups too, though. So don't, you know what I mean? You can't take that away from Artem. But the close your thumbs, close your hands, that does not favor Auden. It favors Artem. So
yeah,
I'm
gonna
thinking
step right back in. I got to finish up, but I'm still here.
okay. But I think, because with all the talks and all the I picked one Laird to win, one Laird to lose. Once again, no disrespect. I got Milo winning his match, but I don't have Auden winning his match. Call me crazy.
Like I was telling him earlier, Milo's match, Milo's lost to the gentleman he's pulling.
Yeah.
And he got beat by speed in that match.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think in every position, I think Artem is just going to be too strong. I truly do.
I don't see every position him being too strong, but I do think that it favors Artem. The setups and the way the ready goes are going to work. It's going to favor Artem. And the thing is Auden has to break his pronation because Artem's very much like Hutchings. You can crack his wrist, but if you don't break that pronator, he can go sideways all day. So
and he will keep hitting until that arm opens up, and he's not going to stop. And if that match goes this way at all, it's
Yeah. I mean, the favorite is Artem for sure. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a 3-1. I think Auden will win a round, but I do think Artem comes out on top. And Artem looks big right now too. I don't know if you saw his last image he posted, but he looks very big.
Okay, he got stung by a bee. Like, bro, he's swollen, man. He's looking swole, man. He got water hose veins in the arms and everything. So
it was only a couple years ago he beat Dan Mosier. Artem did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, man. It's these matches are weird. I mean, like Ali Hamadia beat Artem last year in the Florida qualifier.
Ali's no joke, though.
And I mean, I don't know if Ali could beat Auden right now. I don't know. It's weird. You can't go by that anyway because everyone's pulling styles. Styles make matches. Like I said, I think Artem's got the way the setup works. It's going to be harder for Auden to get the height and to get what he needs to actually crack Artem. And you can't just crack his wrist. You have to break his pronation. So it's going to be.
This will be a harder match to set up for the referee than any other match. I mean, I know that the Doug Allen Ford match is going to be a pain because Doug will fight for every centimeter, but
it's just hard to fight in that setup, though. It's hard because it's close your thumbs, close your hands, and it's just really hard. Like that's where it's like even me, I rely on the setup, and if I don't get my setup, I'll end up getting the ref grip where I'm good, right? But the way that setup works, it's like you're gonna just both guys are gonna get a little bit, and it's no real like it's hard to get an advantage in that setup. I mean, from what I see. So.
Yeah, as long as the referees take control and don't let any outside interference play into the match, you're fine. When you start doing that, then it gets a little messy. Hey, Lewis.
Yeah.
Who you got, Artem or Auden Laird?
Oh, I love Artem. Artem's my boy. I'll take the Russian assassin all day.
There you go. Well,
Artem's great and everything, and Auden's working real hard. Good. And I'm not going to discount anything that Auden can or can't do.
Right.
I just think that Artem's got more willingness to break.
Yeah.
Let's not forget it wasn't long ago that Auden said he would destroy Mendigus Terrasitis after the way he did Artem. So.
Oh yeah, right. That's the match I'm looking forward to is Mendigus and freaking Giannis. Oh, finally.
Yes, and that's I think both competitors are healthy now. I think Giannis wasn't healthy was the reason why it didn't happen the first time. I believe
he ended up getting injured.
He injured the inside of his elbow against Bishop and still won. Think about it. He injured it round one and still won the match.
I think didn't he go down? He went down 2-0 and won 3 straight. Did he not?
It was
either 2-0 or at least 1-0.
So
Giannis weathered the
impressive.
storm.
So
he weathered the storm, and Bishop diminished. I mean, that's what happened, right? So,
As soon as he stayed with that pronation and literally just kept everything, and Bishop's
but
hand
you've
cracked,
seen
it was
how
kind of.
you've seen how dominant Bishop's hand was in the beginning, but he, like I said, he diminished quickly, and I think he needed that mount every round, to be honest, right? So,
Well, it was the same thing. It was the same thing when Bishop pulled Mindy, though. Remember?
Yep. No, I agree.
Same
But
thing.
that was a good match, though. What was that, 3-2 too?
It was 3-2. Yep.
Yeah, but the same thing. Yeah, the Bishop ended up, he lost that edge, and once that hand started going, then Mindy came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, Bishop's got to almost beat these guys 3-0, right? Because it's kind of like,
Yeah, he's got some advance to work on.
yeah,
right.
I mean, he's one of my favorite pullers. Actually, we were lucky we had him on the show this week. It was great, but I think he knows it too, though, and he's still training every day. So, he's going to be, his next match, man, is going to be crazy.
Like I know, I'm trained by Giannis, so like I know the amount of volume that man does, and he doesn't really get tired.
I do some of their stuff. I got trained by Sanders for a year, so
It hurts, doesn't it?
buddy, yeah, oh yeah. It's like I can't even keep up to the volume almost. It was a
Like
5-day
now,
cycle I had.
I've been doing it for 2 years now, so like my body's accustomed to the sheer amount of volume and the 2 max effort days a week. So I'm like, okay, cool. But
I'm doing a max effort day, not too often. I did a max effort day last night. That was fun.
But okay, here's my question though. When you do a max effort day, is it 1 rep?
No.
Or is it Bulgarian where you're doing 3 reps?
I'm doing 2 to 3 reps, as much as I can handle.
Yeah, it's Bulgarian. So like that's how like my program is like our max effort day. It's 1 workout. Like you do 5 or 6 things for the day, but one of them is max effort. You do 7 to 8 sets of 3.
Yeah. So yesterday, let's see, what was it? Was it yesterday, Jody? Was that last night?
Yeah. Hey, not to be rude or anything, but I got the missus calling me and stuff. But hey, everybody, y'all give me 5 minutes when the show's done. But thank you everybody for joining us on the show today with this all-star cast. I think Coach Ray's still on with the press conference. Right. Go ahead.
We did have a Canadian too, so
we did. Mr. Parliament, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Parliament.
Be sure to stay with us after the 5-minute break. Everybody, I think 98% is live too. So go, see, there you go. I got my Mac shirt on right here. I got my Mac jersey. So there's that. You got the Mac hat. Lewis.
I got John Terrian's hat.
There you go.
So there you go.
Just killing. I'm just killing. Just looking massive lately. Just killing. Dude, brother, I was saying, I did my max day yesterday. So yesterday, what was it? I did.
We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Mac 3 tomorrow, and we're gonna touch base. Hey, let's go live. Tuesday morning, so we can, because I think SQ store. But
yeah, hey, don't forget, if you are gonna purchase a Mac pay-per-view, you can use a discount code for your favorite puller on the card, and that money goes to help them out as well. So
nice. Bam, check it out. So everybody, enjoy the pay-per-view tomorrow. I think was it $15, something like that?
I don't know.
It was more Canadian. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry. So everybody, enjoy your weekend. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.